Hello, this is Kerry from Kerry Potts Hypnotherapy. And today I've got Jacqueline with me, who has agreed to do a session with me in order to show you what it would be like to start hypnosis and the first thing that we would do in order to start a session with myself. So Jacqueline has agreed to be my guinea pig for the day. And she's also agreed that I can share this on social media. Agreed?
Yeah, agreed, yeah.
Fabulous. So we've already gone through all the pre-talk and Jacqueline knows exactly what to expect in the session. And I've explained to her about hypnosis, and so she's all ready to go. So are you ready to go into hypnosis?
I most certainly am, thank you.
Fabulous. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to just lift your hand up like this and just stare into your hand, somewhere on your hand, maybe a mark on your finger or into your hand. That's it. And just keep staring, keep focusing at your hand. And in a moment, just allow your hand just to start moving forward. And as your hand moves forward, just notice that hypnosis just hitting the back of your eyes. Good. Just keep focusing, keep focusing, keep focusing, keep focusing. And when your hand and your fingers hit your head, just allow your arm just to drop down peacefully and calmly. And take yourself into hypnosis. Wonderful. And just allow that hypnosis now just to travel all the way from the top of your head down to the tips of your toes, into every single nerve and muscle and cell and fiber, part of your body. And I want you now just to imagine that you've got these tiny muscles around your eyes. Just imagine those muscles around your eyes now as if you can see them or you can feel them. And I want you just to notice now that they're becoming relaxed, really, really relaxed. All those tiny muscles around your eyes are beginning to relax all the way down. And when they're so relaxed that you know that they just won't work, just try to test them. Wonderful. And allow that level of relaxation and hypnosis now that you've got in your eyelids all the way down to the tips of your toes. Drifting and draining and draining and drifting. Wonderful. And as you've got really, really wonderful physical relaxation now and beautiful hypnosis in your body, it's like your hypnosis is completely hypnotized now. I'd like you to imagine that you've got the number 100 in your mind, just in your mind's eye, and I'd like you to begin counting backwards from 100, 98 and 97, and perhaps when you get to maybe 95 or 94, they just disappear. And just let me know, just nod when they've disappeared into a wonderful state of nothingness. Good. So I want you now just to imagine what it feels like to let go of any pressure and any tension that you've been holding on to in your body. Any pressure, any tension that's being held in your joints or your muscles or any part of your body. I want you to imagine now what it feels like to begin letting go of those things as they push up, pushing up into your shoulders as your shoulders become more relaxed and drop. Just pushing all that pressure and that tension all the way up into your face, into your forehead, and over the top of your head. And just allow yourself now, give yourself permission to let go of anything you've been holding on to over the past few days, weeks, months, or years. Now, You're perfectly safe and you're perfectly fine. And as you continue to imagine letting go of that pressure and that tension, I want you to take a nice deep breath in for me and out. And on that out breath now, I want you to imagine what it feels like now to let go of any negative images, feelings, thoughts, emotions, or sensations that you've been holding on to. Just imagine them coming up peacefully and calmly. And you can imagine letting go of those however you choose. You can allow them to come up like bubbles and watch them pop, and all those feelings and emotions around that memory can now just disappear. It's not so important now. Or you might like to tie them onto helium balloons and allow them to float away and drift away peacefully and calmly, or perhaps onto a cloud, whatever's right for you. Just imagine doing that now. That's it, let it go. You're perfectly safe, you're perfectly fine. Give yourself permission now, Jacqueline, to let that go. Any pain, any hurt, any guilt, any shame, any anger, any frustration can come to the surface now. And just imagine now what it feels like to let go of all those things you've been holding on to, all those things that have been holding you back in life. You're doing really well. Your unconscious mind knows exactly what it needs to let go of today. You're doing so well. And I'm just going to speak to the camera now for a minute. So I'd like to show you how hypnosis really isn't what people think it is. You know, I'm not in control of Jacqueline in any way. And if she wanted to wake up, she could just wake up. And she's got all the sounds around her. They're just not bothering her because she's in a pure state of focus right now. She's got out of her own way. And she's allowing her unconscious part of her mind to take over and do the work for her. Fantastic. Just imagine now that there's a valve on the top of your head, entering in your crown chakra. And all those last bits of crap that you've been holding on to ever since you were a little girl can come up now, right to the surface, peacefully and calmly. And just imagine it now being pulled out of the top of your head. Just notice that process happening now. Feel it, imagine it happening. Letting go. Now. Well done you. You're doing so well. Let it go. Let it go. Useless, unnecessary stuff you've been holding on to for so long. Give yourself permission now. This is your time. Let it go. Now. Perfect. And when you've done enough for now, and you can take your time, just open your eyes, feeling absolutely amazing. Take a nice deep breath in and out.
Oh, I snore.
How do you feel?
That was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Did you see or sense or hear anything that you hadn't sort of heard or seen in a long time?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Was it more images or feelings or colours, or how
They
did
were
it come up?
images, feelings, colours, insights. Sometimes I visualize in the most wackiest ways, and I know that it's the way of getting my attention, what needs to be done. And it was very much detoxifying from there, the heart, what we discussed in the pre-talk. So very kind of relevant to what's needed for me right now, definitely. And it was, it was really nice. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
So were any of those things that came up things that would have really affected you before we had this session?
Sorry, say that again. Sorry, was it?
Anything that came up, would those things have affected you before this session? Were there any memories, or were there any feelings of memories?
There were. So I did have a few tears, and I'm not really good at crying. I'm one of these, if I'll shut the door and go on my own. So I could feel them coming up, but I thought, let them come. They're for a reason. I want to show your viewers how real this is, what happens during a session like this. And it was very, some beautiful insights come up. and some really lovely, vibrant messages from people I have in the spirit world, in the other side. You know, I saw some lovely, encouraging messages there, and also someone in our line of work. I won't name him on the screen, but I had a really positive message from him too, and he's here. He's on the earth. He was when I checked an hour ago anyway. So a really encouraging, motivating, almost like a brotherly love. Comes through as a brotherly love, and it was really lovely too. It was like, oh wow. And you might have seen me, I don't know what I was like, but when I'm in hypnosis, I tend to rock. I tend to like move back and forth when things are going on. I don't know if I was doing that, but it was really kind of, wow, it was quite. But I know my friend, and I know that's what he would say to me in person if he saw me anyway, you know. So yeah, it was really lovely, and it was like, yeah, it was kind of lovely to see him there. So yeah.
Oh, that's so fabulous. So you look like you're feeling amazing.
Yeah, it was like it was. Do you know, sometimes when we have these problems and we hold on to them so tightly, don't we? We hold on to them, and yet they can be so easy to let go. And we don't, and sometimes when we verbalize now we feel, and it can tie us a bit more knots, because one thing leads to a confusing thought and the next thing. I find when we go into hypnosis, your mind can settle, and I was aware of you talking to me, and people watching, you might hear my 14-year-old downstairs shouting, but it was all in the background, it was fading away, and my unconscious was very much bringing up the work for me, and I was able to go into that state of focus where the images made it less it wasn't confusing, then it was full of clarity and full of insights. That sometimes when we talk, we're coming from that part of our mind that it rationalizes for us and compares and critiques. It's nice to silence that and just let what really is going on do the work. And that's what just happened then, and it was really insightful is the word I'm going to use. It was really really insightful.
Well, our brains work in colors and algorithms and shapes, which is why it's hard to verbalize sometimes how you feel. You know, somebody will ask you how you're feeling, and you'll go, oh, I don't know, oh, I feel or I feel you know, it's about getting into that place where you can just allow it to go through the means that it needs to and it wants to. So as I said, is there something that came up that would have affected you that you could now look at from a new perception, and just tell me how you feel about that thing? Is there something there that popped up that?
Yeah, it's just easy is a word I'm looking for, and I'll share for you viewers as well. My pre-talk with Kerry is that I eat foods that make me feel really tired and lethargic, and I've had a recent diagnosis of adrenal fatigue, so it's so important for me to stay away from these kind of processed foods. And I go weeks and weeks and weeks being brilliant, then something will happen, and I had quite an emotional knock in my life 3 weeks ago, and then my body's looking for these foods that make me feel nice, but they don't make me taste nice, but I feel like poo afterwards. And I got into that cycle of feeling good again and just eating the foods because I was feeling good again, and then back down. So I've had quite a few lethargic weeks, so I wanted to simplify this problem and say, how do I do this? And back to get that's what it was like. It was almost like, this is just really easy, why are you complicating this? It's just the way it is. And these just be kind. Well, the healing when this is what I let go of, a detox there from the heart. That's what give it a detox. And it was like, just get rid of all those things in your heart and just put some light back in there, do you know?
It's just that light bulb, isn't it? It just comes in, and you see it from a totally different perception, as if you're not, if it's not happening to you. You know, it's like you're watching yourself do that, and you can see what you would say to yourself. But when you're living in it, you just cannot see it from that other perception, can it? So it's absolutely,
it's like trying to read a book with it up against your nose. You can't read the words, you're going to pull it back.
No,
kind of, and I think that's why that was so simple and powerful then, because it allowed me to go, and feel. Because we always like, I want to feel that, that's so painful. But unless we feel it and go through it, we can't really know what we're letting go of. Do you know? And it's like, and we don't always need to know. We don't always need to know, do we? Really.
That's the thing. I think we focus too much on the thing instead of just saying, right, okay, I've had enough. Now I want it gone, which is why hypnosis works so well. And
which is where I was at 11.
Different to counselling or CBT, because that's all talking. This is hardly any talking. I mean, you know, yes, I obviously guided you, but I didn't talk to you all the way through it. I allowed your mind to process what it needed to process, because it's not my stuff, it's your stuff. So that was perfect. So how are you feeling now? What are you going to do?
Well, again, from the pre-talk, you know, I've got this new business venture coming, which I did actually tell the organisers, I'm not doing it. I'm feeling such a kind of, I can't get on top of this problem, so let me sort this first. And now I'm like, what was I thinking? All my marketing's been done for it. All the advertising stuff has been done and designed for me. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to say no. I told him no this morning, actually. So I'm going to give him a ring now and say, look, hold this space. Let's go on with it. Yeah. So I tell you what would be interesting. Okay, let's follow up in a couple of weeks and see where we're at. And it'll be nice to show your viewers where I'm at with it all, and whether I put nasty foods in my body, and we can see where we've gone from it. So just a simple process. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline.
You're welcome. Thank you.
That's Kerry from Kerry Potts Hypnotherapy. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.